Morning. Good morning. Here's my morning cuppa. I'm having, I know, some of you are going to think I'm odd, but I'm having Earl Grey and I'm having decaf tea, which is delicious first thing in the morning with some plant cream. And it's yummy. It's just what I needed. So, day 5. It felt like an odd day yesterday. An odd day. And I think that's because I don't have a routine established yet, which is fine. There's grace for all of that because I'm still working out what I need to do each day to get into my rhythm, right? It just takes time. It just takes time. I am feeling tired today. It's been a big week. It's Saturday morning here, so I'm doing Friday's vlog right now. Yeah, so I'm feeling tired at the end of a big week. But just making sure I have food prep because that's the secret for me. I know that for me, I have to have food prepped in the fridge at all times. And I need options and options of textures and options of tastes. I need that. So I've got some smoked chicken in the fridge. I've got some tuna, which I'm going to make. I'm looking forward to. I love mayo. I haven't had any all week because I've been waiting to make my carnivore mayo. So I have options. I can use ghee. Now my bacon lard, I normally have quite a lot of it, but I've got more tallow than anything right now, and I have got schmaltz. I've got one jar that's got a mixture of all three. Actually, I might use that for the mayo. And I've got a lot of tallow. I've got 3 jars in the outside fridge. I've got bags in the freezer. I've got suet in the freezer. And I've got a jar of, like, whenever I'm cooking and I've got excess fat, I always pour it in there when it's pure, So that's what I'm going to use today. I'm excited about that. And I'm feeling a bit of eggs. I'll tell you what happened yesterday with my food because I was looking for beef. And I got beef and I cooked beef. Yesterday I cooked, and I'll put the recipes up if you'll want that. But I cooked a bowler blade beef. Now, you probably know a blade roast. I don't know why the word bowler is there. I'm not sure what that means. If anyone knows, you can tell me in the comments below. But that's what we get here in Australia. We don't get like a pecana roast. I don't even know what that is. And there's a few other roast cuts and meat cuts in America that we don't get here. And there's probably some in Europe as well, perhaps. But the bowler blade roast, I just asked my hubs if he could grab me a roast from the shop. And I I looked through and said a blade roast would be good. Had a nice fat cap on it. And it's a triangle shape. It's always a triangle shape, a weird, odd shape. Anyway, now I could have roasted it, but I decided I just needed I needed it soft and tender. And so I researched a fair bit, and a lot of people said that in the Instant Pot, So I want to cook it in the Instant Pot or sous vide. I was tossing up. So I did a bit of research and decided let's go with the Instant Pot. And people were pressure cooking it for like 3 hours. There's no way. I just know that's going to be way out of whack for my pressure cooker. I thought I'm going to do 45 minutes and see. Now, I would do 35 minutes next and see if I can get it a little pink, because it was thoroughly cooked. And one little section that didn't have a lot of fat in the roast was borderline dry. So I thought, yeah, I can definitely do less. So I'm going to go 35 minutes for a blade roast. It was 1.2 kilos, which is 2.25 pounds, 2.25 pounds, something like that. So that came out delicious. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I chopped some off, and that was my first meal of the day, after I had a coffee with some plant cream. Then I put that on to cook, and I had that. Then I sliced it all up into slices, and then I turned them on the side and sliced it up into strips because I've been wanting steak strips lately. Who knows? So each strip has a little bit of fat on the end, which was lovely. So I popped that all, like that's food prep done for me. Beautiful. And then I had a pork belly. I'm trying to think. I think it was 1.5 kilos as well. It was small. So I put that in. I don't mind that the broth mixes. I've had chicken and beef broth mixed and all that sort of stuff. I don't always keep them separate unless there's something specific I want to make. So I pop the pork in. I always wash my meat because you don't know what sort of stuff comes on it from the butcher shop, from where they carve it all up in the factory or wherever they do it. So I always wash my meat, popped the pork belly in. I didn't do anything to it. I just put the lid on and I cooked that one for 25 minutes because pork belly cooks quite quick. Perfect. It was perfect. Knowing that I'm going to crispen it up in the air fryer, I knew I would be doing that. So I didn't want to cook it enough. I wanted to undercook it. So I did 25 minutes. Would I do less next time? Maybe 22, 23, but it was really good. Really good. So anyway, I had, telling you what I had for the day, and let me just get my list. The roast beef, that was so delicious, and it was fatty and like it was that melting cartilage, just, I don't know, in places it was, and I took a little video, so I'll always add the footage if I've got it. And then I probably had 4 little strips, so I don't know, 100 grams, I'm not sure, which is 3 ounces. And I popped that in the air fryer, made that crispy. The first lot I just ate straight from out of the Instant Pot, just sliced it up and ate it. It was delicious. And then that was meal 1, meal 2. I think you can call all of that meal 1. It wasn't a huge amount of food. And then I cooked the pork belly. Let that, didn't actually do anything with that for a couple of hours. It just sat in the Instant Pot. And I was busy with granddaughter. Fun times. We even did tattoos. Can you see? I'm a sparkly unicorn horsey. Yeah, it was good. Anyway, we were having lots of fun together, and then the kids were coming to pick up the granddaughter. So I put on a little bit because Emma's doing beef. Not doing beef, she's doing carnivore. Because Emma's doing carnivore, I put on some pork belly. Now, what I did with the pork belly is I sliced it thickly once it had rested and all that. And it was very tender, very, very tender. I think I've cracked the code with the pork belly, I'm just going to tell you. Because I like buying it from the barbecue Asian shop, restaurant. And they do a red pork and a roast pork. And they do roast duck too, which I like duck. But it was almost the same as theirs. I'm telling you. So I cut the long strips, cut it against the grain, cut the long strips, and then I popped it in bags, right? Food prep. But because the kids were coming, I put a very long strip and a half into the Ninja. And I put it on for 9 minutes on Max Grill. And the kids loved it. I kept a tiny piece just to taste it, which I didn't have until, because I just didn't feel like it. That beef, once I had the beef, I didn't want any more beef. I was like, okay, now I'm done with the beef. And I'm even still feeling today like, I'm not sure if I'm going to have any beef today. I don't know what's going on. I've never really experienced this. So this is all new things for me. Could be why I felt odd yesterday. Because after I had the beef, that was probably, 11 o'clock in the morning. It was like, okay, I don't want to eat now. I don't want to eat. So all the kids loved it. Husband loved it. The pork. I'm talking about the pork now. And I ate that little tiny piece, thin little piece of crispy pork that everyone else had eaten, and I thought it was really good, really, really good. And even the rind started to puff up and get crunchy, even though it was completely cooked and gelatinous, like on top of the roast, which is really good. So I thought that was interesting. That was delicious. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to make myself a slice. So I grabbed a slice out of my prepped bag, and I actually cut it into strips and did it in the air fryer already in strips. I did that for, again, I think 9 minutes, and it was amazing. I added some salt to it because I didn't season it when I cooked it. It was just in the broth, and I did season the beef. But yes, so look, that's more or less, that was more or less it. So I had that slice, and I know that doesn't seem like a lot of food to you guys, but that was all I could handle. I did get a little bit of heartburn yesterday. I'll get to the things, my check-ins in a minute after the beef. So that was interesting. Anyway, I think one of the things with heartburn is if I eat too much. So that's another story for another day. But panko, oh yeah. So I had the pork and I was very happy. About 2 hours later, and yes, I know someone's going to say you need to add more fat. And that is probably true. And that's why I love doing these verbal journals, vlogs, because you realise things when you talk about them out loud. And if you're not telling someone every day what you're eating and explaining it all, you don't really observe yourself in the third person. So I love this. I love this for me. And I hope you're getting something out of it. So I was just trying to run through my brain. I'm cycling through all the things I could eat. I just want to eat something. I just need to eat something. I'm hungry. I want to eat something. I don't want more meat. I don't want more meat. That's what's going through my brain, right? And then I thought, I don't know how it happened. I went, bread. Yes, bread. And then I thought, oh, work. It's going to be a work to make a loaf, do all that. I've got to cook the chicken because I plan on making chicken bread this week. Well, I was probably this weekend I'll make it. I've got some chicken to cook, and then I've got my chicken flour because it's chicken and more chicken, right? And blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I then went into my recipes and had a look, and I worked out I can just make one serve, like, you know, like a mug cake, like a keto mug cake. I thought, I will just make, I looked up panko bread on YouTube. That's where it was. And just was flipping through. And I thought, I'll just make one serve. And then, this wasn't on YouTube, I thought, what if I make that batter and pour it into the Ninja? No joke, you not understand the things I'm cooking in this Ninja. It's a revelation. I did that. I lifted the lid. It looks like a little tray bake inside, right? I poured the batter in. I used my spatula and just leveled it out more. I put it on for, did I do 5 minutes? I don't think I videoed that. Oh, I'm not sure if I wrote it down either. Anyway, it was amazing. Amazing. Looked like a pizza crust. You could totally use it for pizza crust. Had 4 ingredients, 2 eggs, a pinch of baking powder, half a cup of panko crumbs, and 2 tablespoons of tallow or any fat of your choosing. And I did grind my crumbs up a bit more in my little mini food chopper, my mini food processor, because it is quite crunchy, those crumbs that I've got at the moment. So I did that. I added the 2 eggs, added the bit of baking powder, added the tallow, blitzed it up again, turns into a batter, poured it into the Ninja air fryer onto the flat, into the baking tray, the flat, spread it out a little bit more, put the lid on, cooked it. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely making that again. And then I took a dairy tablet, an enzyme tablet, and had some butter on it. Well, that was my craving sorted, I'm pleased to say. And I did grab, I think I've still got some left. I grabbed some of those pork rinds that I bought from the place in Perth that cook it in lard, and there's no seasoning on it. I just added some pink salt. But I filled this bowl up, and you can see I only had a few. And I hope they haven't gone soft because I didn't really cover it up. Once I'd eaten that, I was just like, I'm done. I'm tired. It was 10 o'clock at night. I never go to bed that early, ever. Rarely. Once in a blue moon. So off I went to bed. So that brings me to my check-ins. So in terms of, I'll put all the textures up, but it was nice, creamy, hot, crispy, crunchy, fatty, soft, bready. That was terrible. Tender. I had some great textures yesterday. It was awesome. So my sleep, I would give my sleep an 8 out of 10. Would I have scored earlier in the week that high? No, I didn't really do scoring, but if I think back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was unremarkable, my sleep. It was just sleep, right? But last night and the night before, I don't remember tossing and turning. And I got 8 hours sleep. Now, normally I get 4 to 6 for many years now. So 8 hours sleep is very good for me. I did get up once during the night for a bathroom break, but because I was drinking a lot of fluid yesterday. It's been super hot here in Perth, super hot. Like, it's actually an extreme heat warning. So 40 to 45 for 3 days now, something like that. And I think that's 120, 130, 140. I haven't converted it, but I think roughly it's really hot. So I slept for 8 hours. Like, I woke up just before 7, went to bed at 10. Oh, 7, 8. Oh, that's 9. No, 9. Give or take a little bit for... It was just before 7 I woke up. That's really good. And I don't remember tossing and turning, which I often do. A lot. So, textures were good. Cravings, like I said, that hit me not at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I did have my granddaughters. So, distractions are a funny thing. It was 8 o'clock at night. That's when I was just like, my brain was going, give me food, give me food, give me food. So, toilet has been loosey-goosey the last 2 days. The eye of a needle. No more, I will say no more. But let us move on from that, I say. Heartburn, yes, I did have a little bit yesterday, so that's interesting. And I had beef yesterday. I'm just making notes. Tummy cramps, digestives, no. And that's a whole nother story, a chronic symptom I've had for years and years. So I won't go into it here, but I'm making notes of these things for my information. Back pain, knee pain, I did feel my pain probably went up to a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I was managing that. Yes, I was a lot more mobile, a lot more active. So, yeah, that would have something to do with it. Ease to walk wasn't great. My mobility was okay, but it just wasn't easy to get around and do everything, even though I did anyway. And that was my short walk yesterday, was looking after granddaughter, little Miss Thing. She comes in like the shining sun and radiates everywhere. And she's so much fun. She's just the best thing since sliced bread. She's awesome. Now, so yes, I think in summary, I felt odd. I was out of routine. I'm still developing my routine, and that makes me feel odd. I think that's what it is. I'm just trying to work it out as I go. Anyway, so I am going to sign off. All right, I'm going to go. I hope you're doing well. Please say hi. Tell me what you're doing on the carnivore diet or the keto diet or the ketovore diet, or if you're just curious. Yeah, say hi in the comments below. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.